Hi everyone, I'm Les Thompson. For those of you who don't know me, because I know many of you do, many of you have been with us for 5 or 6 times over the 15 years that we've been escorting people through Europe. But for those who don't know me, I am the tour leader for the 2012 Summer Days of Music and Wine tour. And it's taking place in July 2012. For those who have been away with us, we always listen to you. As you know, anything you suggest we consider very carefully. That's why we're doing this online presentation. So you've got everything at your fingertips, including the brochure. It's so easy to get what you want from the information that we have on this website. So if you want to have a look at the videos, well, either down below, there's a link there on this page, or up above on the navigation bar, you will find the links to the video presentations in depth. And also the brochure can be downloaded. If not, we can send it to you by PDF. You just get in touch with our agency. Our licensed agency is Academy Travel in Sydney, Australia. And contact details down below on this page. And if you're outside the country, well, the email access and also the international phone access, it's all there for you if you want to follow through to Academy Travel. However, let's talk about the tour, which is what I do with every presentation I have. As you know, if you've been away with us before, we like to create a nice family unit. It's always a small group of like-minded people who really love their classical music. And right now, I'm going to give you a summary of it all. Okay, so let's do that. One of the interesting things is that we're starting this time in Germany at Leipzig. Now, many of you will already know that Leipzig in 2012 is celebrating 800 years of the St. Thomas Church Boys Choir. So it really is pretty spectacular. The music connections go so far back in Leipzig. Of course, there's Bach, who was the director of that choir and was so much associated for so many years with the St. Thomas Church. So it's going to be from Bach to Bizet, as I call it, because close to the end of the tour, we'll be looking at the spectacular performance of Carmen. That'll be down in Austria, in very close to the Hungarian border, in a Roman quarry from the 1st century AD. So we've built in a whole lot of elements here. I think the industry calls it passion tour elements. Nice name. And so apart from some of the things we always do, like take you off the beaten track, or always have incorporated that aspect into our tours, we're going to do wine tasting through the different regions as we go with the included dinners. Check the itinerary. And we'll also be taking you on a short cruise. It'll be from the historic Milk Abbey in Austria down to Krems, and then off to an operetta after you've been through the beautiful Wachau Valley. It is superb. It really is quite a thrill going down through such a scenic place. Getting ahead of myself. So let's go back to Leipzig. What's close to Leipzig? Halle. We'll be going to the Handel Museum, of course. It's a short excursion from Leipzig. We'll be out there in about 45 minutes. And then we get into the museum. Great instruments. It's a wonderful museum. So we see that. And then we head down after the Leipzig experience, where it'll be an in-depth look at all the musical connections there. We'll be heading down to Nuremberg, or Nuremberg as we probably better know it. And this also has wonderful delights. Apart from the castle, which goes back so many centuries, there's also, of course, the old town itself. Beautiful place. And we get there at a time of one of the big European music festivals. It's called the Classic Open Air, an orchestral performance in the municipal park. That's just on arrival, right? And so we go from Nuremberg and all the delights there down to Linz in Upper Austria. Of course, it's heavily associated with Anton Bruckner, but it also has very interesting Mozart connections, and we're going to be looking at them. That's in Linz, and after a couple of nights there, we'll be heading down to, as I mentioned, Milk Abbey. Beautiful abbey itself. And below it is where we leave on our boat trip down the Danube. Yep, we'll be taking a Danube River cruise down to Krems, and then out to an operetta. There's an operetta festival on that we're taking you to. Once we pick you up at the wharf at Krems, we'll take you out to, again, another dinner with wine. Again, different different tastes, just a little sample, won't go overboard. And then we go to the operetta that night. And we're staying at the Schloss, which is really a manor house of nobility. And they've made it into a beautiful setting for the operetta each year. And this time we're going to see Das Dreimadelhaus, which is the House of the Three Girls. And it's interesting, and the music, of course, is by Schubert, which accompanies the operetta. And it's also, it's based on a fictional account of the life of Franz Schubert. Interesting. Anyway, from there we go on to another historic town, the border town of Sopron in Hungary. We're settling there overnight because we're going on to Carmen. Yeah, spectacular performance, the opera festival this time, in a place called St. Margaretin. You're going to love that. And the setting, it really is something. It's set into the actual Roman quarry, which dates from about the 1st century AD. Quite amazing. So that's the performance there. Then we go on the next day to, apart from tracing the trail of Liszt in Sopron, it was called the Little Prague, Sopron, and it's got all those different styles of architecture included in a very compact town. So I'll walk you around, as I always do. It's a very easy walk around, all flat. And see where Liszt performed when he was 9 years of age, and some of the other history of Sopron is fascinating. Anyway, then we go on to Eisenstadt. Now, this is the home of Haydn. He was court composer there for many years for the Esterházy family. And we'll have a look at Esterházy Palace, and then go on to Vienna, the city of dreams. Now, so many of you have told me over the years, I could just keep going back again and again to Vienna because there are so many musical connections again. 5 included musical performances, don't forget, so look at the itinerary, you can find it and you can download it, or you can just view it and ask for it to be sent by PDF file, by email. But in Vienna, we're going to be staying very close to the Schönbrunn Palace. Now, Schönbrunn is, of course, a beautiful little summer palace, as the Habsburgs like to have, and beautiful grounds all around it. And, of course, then you've got the city itself. So we'll be going into Vienna, and our grand finale will be a farewell dinner in the wine district. How about that? Some of the ideas. Now, what we've got going also for us is a very important musical host. We have Howard Ainsworth from 4MBS in Brisbane, a man with a wealth of knowledge and a true gentleman. He's charming. Even I can say that. Well, not to his face maybe, but I can talk about him. And so, as you know, we like to make it a family outing. We all get to interact. It's just a small group of people, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you there.